Let's take a look at some tips for working faster when dealing with compositions. So first of all, to create a new composition, you can either use this little button right down here, or you can hit Command N. The thing that used to slow me down the most in composition settings was trying to type in a duration into this little box, because I thought that you needed to highlight the numbers that you wanted, then type them in to make sure that you have the exact right time. But actually, there's an easier way. You can just delete this whole thing. Say I want a composition that's 20 seconds. I can just do 20 and then a period. You even get a little preview of what you're going to get right here. So this is hours, minutes, seconds, and frames. So with one period, I'm getting 20 seconds. If I do another period, I'll get 20 minutes. A third period is going to be hours. So if we delete these periods and just have 20, that's going to be 20 frames. So that makes it a lot faster to type in what you want. So for example, if I wanted 20 seconds and 15 frames, I just type 20.15 and there we go. If you want to create a new composition with an existing composition already inside of it, all you need to do is take the composition you want to be inside, drag that onto the new composition button, and then you'll have a new composition with whatever composition you dragged in that composition already. And it's going to adopt all of the composition settings of your original composition that you dragged into the new composition. Here's a shortcut if you want to replace a composition with another composition. So this jellyfish in here, I want to replace with my jellyfish alt colors. So what I'm going to do is with this composition within my timeline selected, I'm going to drag the other composition from my project panel, holding down the Option key, and I'm going to drag it right on top of this layer. You can see that now my jellyfish with my alternative color scheme is now replacing this composition. So if I had any keyframes already set on the previous composition that was in there, this composition would adopt those keyframes. Pretty cool. Now, say you had a really complicated project file with tons of different compositions in it. If you have lost your composition within your project panel and you don't know which folder it's stored in, one thing that you can do, let me hide that, we'll pretend we've lost this composition, this alt colors jellyfish. You can just right click on the composition, go to Reveal Layer Source in Project. And it'll open up the folder and highlight that composition in your project panel. You can also right click on things in the project panel and reveal which compositions they're in, so just going the other way. You can also right click on imported files and reveal them in Finder so that you can open up the original file in either Illustrator or Photoshop or whatever program you use to create it, make changes, and then save it and have that update back in After Effects. What if you wanted to take a bunch of layers within a composition and put them into their own composition? For example, I'm just going to select all of the smaller jellyfish here, and I'm going to hit Command-Shift-C, and then I can pre-compose them. So let's just name this. And then I'm making sure that I have Move All Attributes into the new composition checked or turned on, and then just hit OK. And that just means that that new composition that I created is going to be put into the composition that I was in. So now I just have this small jellyfish composition, and I can double click to open it. This is called pre-composing, and it can be useful for instances when you want to just clean up your project and make things a little bit more organized, or if you wanted to apply an effect to a composition. So if I wanted to maybe recolor all of these small jellyfish back in my original composition here, now I just have this small jellyfish composition all together, and I can go over, I'm going to recolor them with the fill effect. So I can just drop this effect onto the one composition rather than each individual jellyfish, and then I can just color them maybe like a darker color. Let's say you have a composition that's longer than you need it to be. So I want to trim this to just 2 seconds. I can drag my work area to 2 seconds and then right click on this work area right here and do Trim Comp to Work Area. That way I don't have to go into my composition settings and I can more easily trim the comp to the duration that I want. In a similar way, if you want to trim the size of the composition, instead of going into your composition settings and then adjusting the width and height like this, and maybe not getting the exact look that you want, and going into these buttons and trying to position this exactly how you want it, there's an easier way. Click on this little region of interest button. Then you can just drag out the area that you want to crop your composition to. And then you just need to go up to Composition, Crop Comp to Region of Interest. And then your composition is going to be cropped to that little area that you selected.